then it will work. Basically, you can apply the clone expression in. If a clone expression in Word Linux you mean. I don't have that knowledge like what is exactly clone expression. I can tell you how it looks like, for example. This is a one task here and this is a task schedule updated. If I go to debug page. Like I mentioned earlier, for each object simple and create a backend copy here. So if I go to task you'll just get you here. This is the one that I just did it right. Delete our creation, click on this. This is the clone expression. Based on that, this sailboat. Calculate this frequency. Ben is the next schedule, so we are using this clone expression. You can also, change this date and hour, but I don't know how to write this. Is a desert. What is it? A condom? Did you mean clone expression, or did you mean grown job? Chronic expression only grown extra. So you know this thing before little bit. Oh, you're not mom. I have used a couple of ways when I'm working for the RP projects. Okay, yeah, you sound pretty, yeah, otherwise. Corona expression name comes from Linux origins and Linux hat. You know these kind of jobs are. Yeah, in big Windows, these are called batch jobs, and it's a bad job really, and in Linux, they are called prone job. So okay, I get it okay. So in the grown expression you can give the timing and how, when. Yeah, but one thing is, you want to. You can't do non-working days or something. I think it should run every night because there are new employees every day. We need to have the delta to be loaded, I guess. That's why this need to be running every single day, if possibly. In a big company, maybe 2 times once during the day and was during the night. If you have some processing time. Okay, this is. In that case, and you can write a Corona expression. I think a simple will support because based on the date it generate, this Next addition. Basically because we can call it frequency of the task that is controlled by the school expression. Okay. You can do that on the front end. Do right, in the front end the limitation. I tell you, they're the limit. Okay, so this is a task you want to schedule. Let's say, edit. I want to change this. Okay, see I cannot go like. I want to schedule this task in every 15 minutes. Okay, okay, that is a limitation. So for that you need to write a clone expression and you have to. From the back end, you have to add that one expression. So if you need it by the minute, specific minute and second, then you cannot do this here. But these are the only option basically here that you can choose. Yeah, okay, got it. So sometime requirement comes like for example, we have to schedule one task every 15 minutes or 30 minutes, so in that case we have to go back and we have to add that clone expression from the back end. I don't know like how, and you can do it now. Run now is always there, right? Run. Yeah, I know, is just to The next solution, if you want to start like next edition, will be this and same time. You, at present, you also want to run this task, so that's all. Okay. Okay, now there is one more thing, right? Generally, how we do this. Whenever we aggregate the data, for example Monday morning, I get all the fresh data from HRMS system to SailPoint. After that we have to also run this refresh and dequeue once this task is done. Okay, refresh and dequeue, so all the data is up to date inside the SailPoint Monday morning. Right. Now the problem is HRMS aggregation time. If we gamble, if I schedule this at the 7 a.m. the morning and I schedule this task 8 a.m. in the morning, the problem is it's not mandatory that this task will finish in 1 hour, right? There's no. What is the difference between those two jobs? I'm sorry I missed. Aggregation will aggregate the data from HRMS system into SailPoint database. Okay, But within the SailPoint, it will update different tables, and within the same fund database. But it is still looking at the source system, or it is not looking at the no refresh, and D will not look at your source system, which is already there in the aggregation that table it will look for. So aggregation, basically in the aggregation. If you see a BS letting application, that means from HRMS system we are fetching data into SailPoint system. Now this job is done. This is the only purpose of aggregation tasks. Okay, now the data is within the SailPoint system, but there are different component in the SailPoint system, right? Different tables, different process. Whenever we get the new data, we also want to update those process. Example. Let's say, tomorrow you got like 1,000 new employees, right? You have to also create the manager. Manager data is coming from that source, but how to update that manager? That code is written within the SailPoint, right? So for that we need to run that refresh and dequeue task so it will check if the any user correlation is happening. So make a correlation here like that. So basically you can say within the system, any operation that you want to trigger, that will be triggered by the refresh and dequeue and fetching the data from target into SailPoint system, that will be done by the aggregation task. But once you have the OK, so aggregation also happens. I mean this batch job also runs every day, once in every day, yep, and so is the refresh identity cube to then. That's so a simple example is, every day you may have a new retainer HRMS system, so we have to aggregate those data into SailPoint system. So we'll schedule this task every day in the morning, right? Now we have all this user here. Let's for example, the aggregation task is triggered. That is completed, right? Now we have all the latest user here in the system. Let's say I want to trigger some, joiner here. I want to assign some automation. Like there is some automation. Script is there that now those automation event I want to trigger here, how that automation event will trigger. So for that I have to run something so that is basically called by the refresh and dequeue here. If you click this task, you will see so many options. Let's say example, you have defined manager mapping, so that will be get refreshed. Okay, because see it could be possible that tomorrow this user, Patrick Jenkins, leave the organization, right? So now Albert Wood's manager will get update, how that will get a bit by using the refresh man, just status. Second is you have different user here, right? And now. As of now we don't have policy, but we'll create policy right in the coming size. Let's say we have defined some policy now within the system, the policy present not in your nation, not on the AD system, the policies within the system within the same point. Now you want to run that policy against all the user. How we will do that? Go back here. You will see this one option here. Check active policy. This is option, so what it will do within the SailPoint data, it will check if any user of all eating the policies. Okay, so there is they made it a two-step. Update every single day. It's a two-step basically, it's not one side right, it's a two-step, correct, basically. The third step too. Is there a third step? No third step, no third step. Okay, basically, the purpose is basically, irrigation task will only bring data from your HRMS into SailPoint. Now within SailPoint, we do so many things different things, right, and the timing can be changed, for example, within every 4 hours. We want to do something right, anything that could be possible, right? For example, the success request. We have not covered access to this part of it, so there are different process that I'll show you. That is, within the SailPoint system, right? So, in order to update those process data, we need to run this refresh and dequeue task. So it will basically refresh all the user here. Okay. And one last question now.